Well, hello everybody and welcome to another video tutorial. My name is Peter Drakulic and today I would like to be showing you how you could fix a problem we have usually when rigging things like limbs, like arms, legs and things like that. And for example, here I have this arm here, and I can show you that I have attached to this arm this armature here, okay, the skeleton with bones and things like that. So if I switch over to the pose mode, press Control Tab to switch over to the pose mode for the armature, you can see that I can rotate it, and the skin and the arm is following the move. The problem here is that as I'm rotating the elbow, you can see that when it comes somewhere here, you can see here we have a certain not so good deformation here. We have a problem with the deformation. It's just not realistic enough. You can see this is folding rather in an ugly way. So how we can fix it? We have a couple of ways for doing so, and one of them is by going here and selecting the arm and going to the constraint panel here and add a constraint here, maintain volume to the arm, and this should work, but it doesn't work all the times, you know. So if I rotate it, you can see that again I have the problem with the deformation here, with the angle deformation. So a better way for achieving the same result, a better deformation, a more realistic deformation, would be by adding what we call shape keys to our arm. So I want to add a shape key and manually the shape, the bent arm here. So in order to do so, I'm selecting my arm, I'm going up here to the vertex object data, where it writes down here shape keys. Just go ahead and click on this little plus icon here to add a new shape key. I'm naming this shape key as arm straight to indicate this is going to be the shape key when the arm here is going to be straight, alright, not bent. Now I want to add yet another shape key, and I'm going to be giving it the name arm bent. So now for this shape key, I want this shape key to take effect when I have rotated my elbow here somewhere here. So I now want to actually modify the geometry of my arm when this elbow here has been rotated at this position. I have a couple of ways for doing so. First of all, I can tab into edit mode and start editing my arm. But as you can see, I have first to go ahead to the modifiers, and for the armature, if you haven't this set, you will see something like this. So you want first to go ahead and enable the use modifier in the edit mode button, and then you want to click this button here on the right as well. Alright, so now you can safely go ahead and, let's say, enable from this button here the enable the proportional editing, and you can now go ahead and select your a face, let's say, and try to actually modify, okay, and reshape, if you prefer, the geometry in such a way that it looks more realistic. For example, now we're trying here to give the look of a bicep, okay, and of course you might want to select one face here, another face here, and move it some faces somewhere like so. Alright, so you want to give it, perhaps you want to move some faces here up and down, so you can create this effect. Alright, so in general you get the meaning. You can sculpt, you can reshape your arm in such a way that it gives a rather a rather realistic, more realistic at least, look when the arm has been bent. Alright, now I'm tapping out edit mode, and you can see that I have nothing now. I have the original shape, and I don't have the shape key, and the reason for that is that because I have to go here and adjust, bump up the value for the shape key. Now you can see that here it is how it looks like. Of course, if you don't like the way we have reshaped it, you can always go ahead and reshape it by going to the sculpt mode. But before going there, in order for you to have your shape key available, you have first to go here and pin, as we call it, this certain shape key. Otherwise it won't work when you go to the sculpt mode. So first we want to click on this pin button, then we want to go to the sculpt mode, switch over to the sculpt mode, and now we can safely sculpt on our arm here. So let's say I want to press F in order to adjust the radius of my brush. I want to, let's say, press I in order to select the inflate brush. You can always go ahead and do the same from over here. Okay, you have a bunch of brushes to choose from, and then you can just start and sculpting. By pressing Control, of course, you reverse the effect. Alright, so you can just go ahead and make add those details needed. You can select the grab, for example, to brush, excuse me, so you can even add the amount of detail you think that is going to be nice for the deformation to have. Alright, so when you are happy with the result, and I'm not going here for the perfect deformation, you just switch over to the object mode, and then you want to uncheck this pin button here. So uncheck this so you can use your newly created shape key. So you can see now we have something like so. Now it's okay, but you know, if I rotated my elbow here, okay, nothing really changes. And the reason for that is that I have not linked, I have not assigned a relationship between the rotation of the elbow and the value for this shape key here. This is what I'm going to do right now, right away. And for doing so, I'm going to be using what we call driver. And the driver is a relationship that you can establish between any two elements of your scene, so that in such a way that the change in one of those elements will affect the other. So I want for my shape key, my shape key's value to be controlled, to be related to the rotation along the z-axis of the elbow. So that's why I want to go ahead, select my arm, and right click on this value slider here, and I want to select add driver. So by doing so, it turns purple, color purple, and now this signifies that it has a driver attached to it. The property, I mean the property of the value of the shape key. Now, in order to work further with this this property here, with this driver, I need to split my area here. So let's go ahead, split your area here from this list here, from this pop-up window to the graph editor. Alright, so I want now to, let me make some space here. I want now from this button here to click on that and switch over to the drivers menu, and you can see that we have already a driver attached or assigned to the elbow. So click on this little arrow and click on this driver, so you can see actually the driver here, okay, the graphical representation of the driver. Now, in order to further work on the driver, we have to press N and bring this side panel here. Okay, now we are going to be linking the rotation of the elbow with the value of this shape key. So now let's go ahead and add to this over here, from this over here, to add to this modifier an object, and the object is going to be, of course, our armature. In our case, I have used the meta rig, which is, by the way, I want to show you this. That's why it has the name meta rig. If you go up here to the user preferences, you can find an add-on which is called, if you go to the rigging, you can find this add-on which is called Rigify. So you want to enable this, so each time you are pressing Shift A and add an armature, you are presented with a human meta rig skeleton here, armature option. Okay, so that's just for you to know. Okay, and now I have assigned the meta rig to be the object that is going to be the driver for this shape key here. Now let's go ahead and specify and define the bone, which of course is the forearm L. So that's the forearm here. Okay, and now I want to assign the type of transform channel. Of course, here we want to keep a transform channel, and I want to assign the type to change to Z rotation. So again, script, I want also to change this into average value. So the type of driver is going to be of average value. The input of the driver is going to be the transform channel of the driving bone, and then I want to specify the object, which is going to be the meta rig, and the type of bone, which is going to be the specific bone, which is going to be the forearm, which is this bone right here. So now I want for this forearm the Z rotation of this forearm to its local space to be affecting the shape here. So let me try this to rotate this now and see how this behaves. Right. So as you can see, here we are. We can change the the shape of our arm, but not in the way we would like to. You can see it works kind of the inverse than we were expecting. All right. So I need this for this to work from let me show you, from here to here. But now it works from here to here, as you can see, which is not what we were going for, of course. So how we can fix this? Okay, I'm going to be showing you. So select the arm, and as you can see, if you go down, further down to this modifier, we have here a expanded polynomial generator to this, and this polynomial, what this does is that it controls how this property here, the Z rotation channel, is going to be mathematically affecting, is going to be related to the shape key, to the value of the constraint property, which is, in our case is the value of the shape key. So if I wanted, let's say, to change this relationship, the mathematical relationship, and you are going to see this reflected over here to this graphical representation. So let's go ahead and make it -1. So I'm changing the factor to -1, and now you can see the this line here has been rotated in a way, has changed the graphical representation. So now if I selected the elbow or the forearm, whatever, rotate Z, you can see, let me maximize the window for a moment. You can see that if I rotate this along its local Z axis, the arm also is being deforming nicely and much in a realistic way, whatever. So if you want to achieve some more realistic results, you might want to consider using this shape key, corrective shape keys, as we call them, functionality, and you want to assign the driver to the bone and then let the driver adjusting the value for the shape key. So that was our tutorial for today. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something from this. If you liked this, don't forget to subscribe. See you next time with a hopefully interesting topic. Until then, have fun and goodbye.